Hello, everybody, and welcome to another installment of your favorite podcast, Highly Contested. I am here today again with my boy Bruno, ready to spit some truth and everything else you want to hear about right here. Bruno, what's good?
Hey man, how's everyone doing? And welcome to the first episode of our new 2018. 2018, man. Can't believe it's already here, but excited to get this episode started. We got a few surprises, a couple of things to get into. So let's start. And let's start with soccer. Let's start over with the EPL. We had a couple of matches that took place. First game we had that I just really want to touch bases on the bigger team, so I won't go into detail on the other matches. It's going to be a little faster episode today.
Yeah.
So Chelsea 5-0. They beat Stoke City. Beat Leicester 2-1, unfortunately. Newcastle tied with Brighton. Manchester tied with Southampton, again dropping points. Arsenal 1-1 to West Brom. And Manchester City tied with Crystal. And then it was Boxing Day Monday. We had Leicester coming back with a big result, 3-0 over Huddersfield. Manchester finally got back on track, 2-0 against Everton. Manchester City won. West Ham picked up a big win, and Tottenham won. Then we had the London Derby, Arsenal-Chelsea, that ended in a 2-2 draw. Tottenham played West Ham today, 1-1 draw. Tottenham had 31 shots and scored 1 goal. West Ham had 3.
And
the possession was like 71.
I found this game to be insane. All right, you had one of the teams, Tottenham, trying to get a claw on the Champions League qualification, and you have West Ham trying to do everything possible not to relegate to the second division. It was one of the most one-sided games I've seen since, I don't know, watching Argentina play El Salvador when I went that time in New York. It was insane. I mean, it was shot after shot after shot for 90 minutes, and West Ham was just hanging by the goalpost. It's insane. I mean, I really expected this game to be like 4-0. That's how bad I thought it was going to be, and it was completely, I mean, it threw me completely off.
Yeah, I mean, just classic Tottenham. Like I've been saying, just inconsistent. And credit to West Ham. I mean, yeah, they didn't do much, but they still managed to salvage a point.
Yeah. Everything counts at this point for them.
Exactly. And then this weekend is just the FA Cup. I won't dive into that. We'll get into that on the next episode. Another thing I want to talk about was the Derby, the Lisbon Derby in Portugal.
Yeah.
Sporting Benfica. Man.
Tell me. So the final score was 1-1.
Yeah.
Tell me a couple of things. Let me know if, after seeing your team play, all right, or if you want to explain a little bit on how they played. Are you happy about the results, or are you for some reason upset that you would have expected a win?
Yeah. I was honestly disappointed with just how bad we played. That was probably our worst performance of the season, I would say, and that was also Benfica's best performance of the season. So when you take it into that aspect, and we're playing away, and that was our worst game, the point when Benfica completely dominated, I'll walk away happy. Yeah. But I was pissed off at how flat we came, and the coach's tactics of just parking the bus after we went up 1-0. I don't think that's when Sporting are at their best. I think they're best when they're attacking, playing free flowing soccer, not this counter Jose Mourinho crap.
Yeah,
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Defensive.
I don't like it.
Hold the line.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But hey, it is what it is. We're only 2 points back. That's nothing. Porto, we're still going to drop points this season. So it's still wide open. It's still wide open.
How challenging does it make it now for Sporting that, they're back in second place, and this was one of the big teams that they had to draw points from?
Yeah, But again, we were away. We played bad against Benfica. But that being said, like I said, Porto aren't going undefeated. Porto are going to drop points again. They got some big games coming up. But I mean, same goes for Sporting too. But I still think that we do have the better team. I still think we have the better team.
So you think you guys have enough to be able to overtake Porto and
eventually,
hold off
yes.
Benfica?
Eventually, yeah. I don't think Benfica. I think Benfica are going to improve, but I still think Benfica are the third best team in Portugal.
Fair enough.
I'll leave it at that.
What's your take?
Moving on, we had the Barcelona game. I don't know if you want for the Copa del Rey. I don't know if you want to dive too much into it.
Well, that was a 1-1 tie. It wasn't an important game for Barcelona. Nobody played. They had their entire B team. Suarez didn't play. Messi didn't play. Mascherano didn't play, and I don't know. It was literally an entire backup. PK, he sucks, but it's their little golden boy for Spain. Nobody was there. So if you want to talk starters, it wasn't anything special. And they got a 1-1. It's a result they need. It's perfect. And that's about it. Nothing special there.
Yeah, I actually saw the other team's goal. It was funny. PK just kind of stood there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they thought it was going to be offsides. It wasn't, and the dude just banged it in. Great goal. But yeah, that was pretty much. I think that pretty much covers soccer. Real Madrid also won 3-0 against. How do you say this? New Marcia. What are they? Second, third division team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Gareth Bale scored. Yay.
Yeah, they got a red card too, which is funny.
They had 2 PKs.
Yeah.
It took 2 PKs to beat this.
Yeah.
Were they actual PKs? Did you?
No.
No, you didn't.
I mean, look, they had 10 players to start with that. It was Real Madrid playing against 10 dudes from the third division, and 2 PKs is what was awarded. In again, for them, it's always justified. They always find a way. But no, again, these are meaningless games. To be honest, they don't really care till the last 2 games, semifinals and finals. Yeah, nothing special. But yeah, moving on.
So now I want to move on to the next segment of our show. Let's dive into football. And before I do that, I'll go ahead and let Dario introduce our special guest that we have today.
All right, so today we have one of the sports prodigies, one of the masterminds, one of the creators of sports world content. Am I pretty good? We have my close friend Tyler. All right. He is. I'll let him do the talking. But Tyler, welcome to the show. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Good. Thank you. It is a pleasure. It is a pleasure to be here on a Thursday night, a freezing Thursday night. That is. It is cold.
Yeah, it is. I'll tell you what. Well, you're used to this, aren't you? Where are you from?
I am used to this. I was born and raised in Buffalo, New York. Yes, for the first 16 years of my life, and grew up a Bills fan. So, yeah.
Wow. Congrats, or I'm
Stop,
sorry.
Stop. I know, but we made the playoffs this year, didn't we?
Right.
Did we not?
Hey, yeah. Round of
Did we
applause,
not?
Man.
17 years.
17 years.
17 long years.
So all right. So this we're gonna have you answer a few questions. We're going to have you put a little bit of your take on a certain or a couple of topics that we have, and a couple of questions that are highly contested. Yeah, I did it again.
I see.
So if you want to go ahead, we know you told us that the Bills are your favorite team. So tell us, what do you expect from them after seeing them make it to the playoffs?
Our team, first-year coach Sean McDermott, you may or may not know, very disciplined in terms of how we played this year. We've stayed to it. We've worked really hard as a team to get to 9-7. Play the Patriots twice a year. That's never good, but won some tough games this year and got lucky, got in the playoffs, and it's been 17 long years. And this team knows that. This city knows that. These fans know that. I expect them to come out firing against the Jags, and I expect them to play them real tough.
Good. I had actually in fantasy the Jags defense this year, and they killed it for me. And see,
They were good.
that's where I see the biggest problem coming in for the Bills to be able to make it to the next round. I just think the Jaguars have a sensational defense, and it is the only reason why I think the Eagles also have a slight chance of winning one game in this goddamn playoffs after Wentz went down. It's just because of our defense. Do you think you guys have enough to overpower that defense?
Can you answer a question for me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Who's the quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars?
And this is what I want to get. This is where I was going to.
Can you answer that question for me?
Say it loud, say it proud.
Say it loud.
Look, no, I'm not, because see, for me, this is irrelevant.
What?
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Stop throwing it all on him. I understand. He's
really good at turning the ball over.
This is a thing.
He's really good at it. If that's one thing he's really good at, it's that.
I'm going to tell you something. This is something that has been brought up by Bruno many times in the show. Okay, and he expected the Jaguars to choke a long time ago, because Bortles was supposed to throw the game many times.
As he's done.
That's fine. But as a Dolphins fan, he realized that there are worse things than having Bortles in your team. Am I correct? As a quarterback, do you think there are worse things than having Bortles in your team?
I'd take Cutler.
I would definitely take Jay Cutler over Blake Bortles.
I would definitely, any day, never take Cutler before I take Bortles.
Absolutely. But let's not get sidetracked, because I want to come.
We'll keep this a main difference here,
and we'll talk about this some other time.
You know what? No. I'll create a poll.
There we go. Yeah. Create a poll.
Who would you rather have as your quarterback, Blake Bortles or Jay Cutler? And we'll announce the results on later on in the.
That's fantastic. We'll create the poll on our Twitter.
For those of you who say Blake Bortles, I'm sorry.
Rethink your lives.
I disagree.
But going back to the Bills game. See, this is why I like Buffalo in this game. Several reasons, but number one, Blake Bortles is the opposing quarterback. The Bills have a great defense. Number two, that cold weather. Jacksonville we all know where Jacksonville is Florida. We know Florida teams don't do good. Me as a Dolphins fan, every time we go anywhere near cold weather, I know the chances of us losing skyrocket, because they just don't do good in cold weather. And ultimately, I feel like this is a game where Blake Bortles, it's going to come down to the wire, I think. And I just don't – I trust Tyrod Taylor a million times more with the game on the line, and you got to put in a drive if you're up and you're down, if you're up or if you're down.
Or any drive, for that matter.
Pretty much any drive, yeah.
And any situation.
So I'm taking Buffalo. I wish the thing that scares me though with Buffalo is LaShawn McCoy isn't going to be at 100%, and I feel like he's a big piece. But I'm still taking Buffalo.
Hashtag Mike Tolbert.
All right. Well, that's a great prediction right there, because I'm taking Jacksonville this game. I think the weather always plays a factor, and I think quarterbacks. Again, I was a big fan of Tyrod Taylor. I don't know why the Bills I don't know what you guys were trying to do.
Also, side note, Jacksonville is favored by 8. Take Buffalo. 8 points is a lot.
Yeah.
Free money. Money line pick of the week.
Hashtag free money.
I like that.
Yeah. Money line pick of the week.
Plus, do you know how much more motivated Buffalo's going to come out and play?
8 points.
At home after not being in the playoffs for 17 years. Can you imagine the atmosphere?
Yeah. So was it 99 or 2000 last time?
99 2000 season.
99 2000 season.
Yep.
So
yeah, they beat the Dolphins in the playoffs.
I could be wrong. Could be 0-1.
I think you're right. Buffalo beat Miami in the playoffs that year. I believe they blew us out. I could be wrong too, though. But I think they blew us out in the wild card.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it was since last century, pretty much.
Yeah, I was 3 or 4. Yeah.
Damn.
I was still shitting myself.
Great. That's a great insight there into your life.
All right, so let's move on to our other AFC playoff match. We have the Kansas City Chiefs against the Tennessee Titans. I think this is going to be an easy win for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think I think that they have too much firepower on offense, and I think their defense is solid.
Yeah, and I think Mariota is suspect too. I mean, he's thrown. I thought we were talking about Bortles. I think Mariota may have more interceptions or turnovers than
yes.
Yeah, but I'll still take Mariota over Bortles.
They're also playing at the Arrowhead, one of the loudest stadiums in the NFL.
Yeah. It's crazy atmosphere over there.
Tennessee's on the road.
One of the most loudest in the world, actually. And we were doing a little research about this the other day, comparing them to soccer. And it's just speaker sound. They pump it to those stadiums, but it's scary.
And people are, some people think Alex Smith is a little suspect. I'll admit he is, but he's quietly thrown 26 touchdowns to only 5 interceptions this season. The guy does not turn the ball over a whole lot.
No, I feel like he's playing for a big contract this offseason because I don't think he's going to be back in Kansas City.
Tell me, as being a huge critic of oh my God, Alex Smith, do you think he deserves to stay, or do you think he should go find something else?
I think he definitely deserves to stay, but I don't think Kansas City drafted Patrick Mahomes last year in the first round. So I feel like he's the future quarterback, and I don't think Alex Smith is going to be back in Kansas City. I really don't. I think he moves on.
Yeah.
And I think the only way he comes back to Kansas City is at a discount, and I think he can make bigger money elsewhere, and I think ultimately that will drive him to go elsewhere.
Tyler, are you a hater of Alex Smith, or do you think he's an all right quarterback?
I think some people don't give him enough credit.
He's an above-average quarterback.
I think this is also highly depending on how he does in this playoffs.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean he's playing for a contract.
Yeah, he's got to show up.
That's why he's doing.
He's got to show up. So yes, Chiefs win big.
We all take Kansas City.
Good. We all take Kansas City on that one. Yeah.
So moving on to, I want to get into this one. This one's, I think it's the most exciting playoff game in my opinion.
Yeah.
In the NFC, the Rams against the Falcons.
Yeah. I see. I love that matchup just because you have experience versus
youth, new.
Yeah. Fierceness. Like you
got two offensive sluggers.
Yes, the Rams have played amazing this year. Their coach has impressed me.
Sean McVay. Redskins messed up, man. I keep saying it. Redskins messed up.
Man, so I want to pick the Rams because I actually love their offensive playbook. They're always such a gutsy team. And that's why I'm going with the Rams. I do think that Atlanta has a huge advantage over them. They were here last year. All right. So they know what it is like to win a playoff game. But I think ultimately the Rams could take this game. Tyler?
Two offensive powerhouses. It's going to be a fun game to watch. It's at the Rams Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't sold out a game this year, so we're gonna be seeing if they sell out this Saturday or Sunday. I like the Rams though. Very, very versatile offense now with Jared Goff making huge strides offensively. He can now throw the ball down the field accurately. Their offensive line is improved. Todd Gurley is now Todd Gurley again. They can do it all offensively, but so can the Falcons. So it's going to be a fun one to watch, but the Rams are at home. I like the Rams.
Yeah, see, nice. This is why I also you pretty much hit the nail on the coffin when it comes to the offense of the Rams. But I want to touch bases a little bit more on that defense because I think the Rams have an outstanding defense as well.
Yes.
And I feel like they don't get enough credit. And ultimately, I think the Falcons' defense isn't nearly as good, and they won't be able to stop the Rams. They won't be able to stop the Rams, and I think the Rams can stop the Falcons. So I look for the Rams.
Fair enough. All right, and finally we have, which I think is another great game, is the Saints-Panthers. I'll let you, Tyler, start off with this one, and we'll go from there.
It's at New Orleans. Both teams finishing at 11-5 on the season. It's even. There's no favorite. It's going to be a very close game, in my opinion. Saints are at home. They haven't been in the playoffs in a little bit. They've got a great rushing attack this season, but the Panthers' defense is now a little bit more healthy, and they look great too. I think if the Saints can get to Cam Newton, and if they can neutralize him a little bit, not let him take over, they're going to put up points. There's no question. They're playing at New Orleans, so it's a matter if they can neutralize Cam Newton a little bit. I think they have the chance to take the Saints.
Bruno?
I like the Saints, man. I just like Drew Brees. I trust Drew Brees more than I trust Cam Newton. I think you get a little bit of pressure on Cam. He's not as accurate. He's got a knack for turning the ball over at the wrong times. I'm taking the Saints, and Alvin Kamara is a beast. I know the Panthers have Luke Kuechly back there, and those are always one of those matchups that you love watching. Two great players going head to head, but I'm liking the Saints. They're at home. I think they'll take care of business. I actually like the Saints getting to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope. I actually, I have the Saints just because I'm not so much scared of Cam as I am of his O-line. Has had, I don't know, somewhere in the teens for interceptions. I think it was 16, 17, somewhere in there. Due to the pressure that he has from having to throw the ball either so fast and to run the ball all the time, he has 754 rushing yards this year, which is so he's the highest rushing player in the team, I believe, for the Panthers.
Yes, ridiculous.
Which is insane when your quarterback is carrying the team, and that's why I think the Saints will take this one, just because I think that it's a one-man show, and I've been talking very very highly of Cam, and I think at this point it's just him by himself, and I do see that. Yeah. All right. You wanna shift gears a little bit and
one last thing, Tyler, before we switch the segments over to the NBA, I want to get your take for NFL MVP.
One,
Give me
my non-biased opinion. He's had an incredible season. He's 40. He's still doing it like he's always been. He's had maybe 1 or 2 or 3 bad games during the season. People like to point fingers and highlight that because he's just so good. And whenever he does have a bad game, people see that. But if you look at his numbers this season, very similar to previous in terms of touchdowns, yards thrown. He's had Gronk almost healthy the entire season, and it's been huge for him. Field advantage throughout the playoffs, and I like him to get to the Super Bowl even. Todd Gurley's great too.
That's who I like for MVP, because I feel like he played. I mean, he almost had 1,000 receiving yards too.
Yeah,
receiving yards, over 1,000 yards rushing. I mean, this dude did it all. That's my pick for MVP.
we're talking on Facebook about, I believe, I don't know if it was Facebook or over text. Sometimes Andres? I forget. Yeah, with Andres, one of our listeners.
Le'Veon Bell. Yeah,
Le'Veon Bell was one of them that we had brought up also, but we were saying how hard it would be for anything other than to be able to win it.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard.
So that's why I think, to be honest, just because I think they'd give it to him, even though I think the Patriots have had some shitty games this year. Calls and some weird ass rules that made no sense, but it's a Patriots, so here and there. But yeah, again, I think it's gonna be Brady just out of fuck it.
Yep, that is the reason.
Fuck it.
That is the reason.
No, I think again, he's after 40 years. I think this might be one of the last times he gets it. So
no, dude,
why not?
I think ultimately, this may be the Patriots' last great run at a championship.
And they're not gonna win it. It's gonna be they're not gonna win it, and this is gonna start the downfall of the Patriots.
I would love to see the Saints make a run because they can beat Carolina. Minnesota is good pick. Though.
They are.
Oh, they're good.
Casey Keenum in the playoffs. He's been phenomenal. Keenum in the MVP race. I think you really want.
I don't know, man. If New Orleans beats the Vikings, I mean that's going to be incredible. But the Vikings, I think they might take care of business. I mean,
defense.
We'll see what happens next week if they get there.
Yeah, we gotta wait. We gotta Atlanta first. The Saints, that is, and then go from there.
It's the Eagles Patriots. All right, go Bulls.
No,
right?
I'm still
first playoff game.
I'm still taking the Steelers over New England in the AFC Championship.
Are fucked.
If Brown can come back healthy,
no shot.
Not in New England. It's at New England.
Exactly. Yeah. Move on to the NBA. I gotta ask you, who's your favorite NBA team?
My favorite NBA team?
The Cleveland Cavaliers.
without a doubt.
Are you a LeBron fan or are you a Cleveland fan?
I'm a huge LeBron fan, and I'm not afraid to admit it. He's the greatest player.
Well, I think.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Well,
All
you know what's crazy? I'm gonna step in over here because we actually had our next question was.
I don't want to get there just yet.
You don't want to ask him
because that's
he just
gonna
outed
take
himself.
that's gonna take 20 minutes, and
We're gonna
save this.
fine.
I need to save this
we're gonna
debate.
save this
I need to save
conversation
this
for
one
another
in
day,
a few minutes. No, we're gonna get into it.
or whenever.
All right. So give me being a Cavs NBA Finals again. Yeah.
Who's gonna stop us?
Keeps getting excited for Boston, but I still think
Boston's
Boston
good.
had no shot.
Boston's good. Some people are like, some people gas Boston up a little too much. Good.
I know, but Gordon Hayward
Hayward's hurt.
hurts them.
They still have a pretty well-rounded team and
No,
a very
they do.
good coach.
If they had Hayward, 7-game series now, I think Cleveland will just finish it in 5-6.
Just to ask yourself when you're hyping Boston up, is Cleveland 4 times before Cleveland beats them 4 times? No,
there's no way. No.
Cleveland in first place.
Yeah.
That was actually, I think, one of my first predictions in the show. And because
it's a bold one.
I was well, here's why.
I know. Go ahead.
The challenge was this one for me. Cleveland be able to make up the deficit. Isaiah Thomas, or you see what I'm saying? Exactly, compared to the Celtics.
They've been great.
Exactly, and I think they are close enough that with Isaiah Thomas healthy, playing 100% and not whatever the hell he played the other day, I think they had enough to overtake it. And I think they're like two games back right now, 3 games back. Was there? I think once Isaiah Thomas is back, it's going to be a first place.
Oh yeah, Isaiah's back.
Yeah, but he's not playing. He's not.
No,
fully...
but he's coming.
He's starting.
He's coming into it.
He's starting.
Hey, his first game
tomorrow.
back, man. He has 17 points in like 19 minutes.
He's starting either tomorrow or Saturday. He played 2 nights ago and had 17 points, 6 of 12 shooting. He looked a little slow. So that even having him a little step slow on the floor makes a huge impact.
Huge.
I want to see that explosive Isaiah Thomas, skirmish around everybody and then just boop, blob it over, and that's it. Next on it, like back and forth. That was the Celtics game. So I think that it was such a good trade for the Celtics. Everything went, but as in the direct trade for the Celtics.
And why would you want a guy on your team who thinks the Earth is flat? I'm just kidding, but yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Like I've heard crazier things.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I
love
think
Kyrie.
No, he's great. He is great.
Crazier things. So I think that was good for the Celtics.
I want to get your opinion. Do you think with Isaiah Thomas, you guys have a better shot state this year than if you had Kyrie?
I think we end up matching up against them most likely. It's going to be a matter in terms of just how we match up with them with Isaiah, and we've never seen it. So it's going to be very interesting, and I'm really looking forward to watching it because it's going to be Cleveland. I mean, Boston. You can make a partial argument for Boston, but they're not beating them 4 times in my opinion.
No, maybe a game or 2.
I think they can take a game or 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be the usual final for you, Golden State.
The West is looking a little tighter this year. I think Golden State gets there, but it's not going to be an easy ride like they had. Golden State won by 10.
But James Harden was out.
Houston's offense is incredible. They are on pace to have like a record-breaking offense this year in terms of like 3-pointers made, efficiency, points scored, shots taken. They're incredible shooting tons of 3-pointers. They have great wing shooters.
Yeah, they're insane.
So yeah, I think they can give Golden State a little bit of a run for their money just because of their offense too. But in terms of offensively, I just don't think they can keep up. Warriors.
The shooting power, yeah, I agree. Yeah, unfortunately, Gino's already getting a little too old, so he can't keep carrying the team anymore. Someone back. He's on crutches. He has no more knees.
This year.
He don't get me wrong, he's played fantastic.
He's still getting it done.
For the man's age, he is playing great.
Him and Vince Carter are great, man. Still going.
But I think again, the Spurs are missing one more player. One more key player.
Yeah.
And we would be having
I would love to see LeBron go to San Antonio.
No.
Play under Greg Popovich.
I don't want
Why
him.
would you not want that?
I don't want him.
Two together.
He wouldn't.
He would.
He
First
wouldn't,
of all,
but
he
I
wouldn't
would
come
love
to the West.
to see it. I would.
He's not going to come to the West.
Maybe if he goes to the Rockets,
he's not going to go to the Rockets.
I think the Rockets have a shot at getting LeBron.
Realize how deep Cleveland is this year. I think he comfortable than people may think in Cleveland. Yeah, they have arguably the best bench in the league now. And then depending on how Isaiah plays this year, if they can give Golden State a run for their money, even at the least in the finals.
I think is what he does.
I feel like if he goes to the Rockets, though, he just makes them better than the Cavs.
Fun to watch, but I think he's pretty comfortable in Cleveland.
That's another
See,
fun
I think what would be
saga.
cool. I think we talked about this one too. It would be for him to go to the Lakers. Picking up a team and lifting them up to glory. I think that would be the ideal story.
I was saying in the beginning, just because of that youth, and I honestly expected the Lakers to be better. We expected
a lot better, yeah.
But the Lakers are bad. No, there's no way LeBron goes to the Lakers anymore.
Again, if I would want him to go somewhere, pick up a team out of like dirt, and once you make it up.
I think the best shot, if he's going to leave Cleveland, the only destiny I see is Houston.
Nice to see.
LeBron, so I love that.
Him to stay, right?
I think, at least at this point, yes. Depending on how the season goes, I think Isaiah gets back to where he is, and he doesn't have to do as much even to get into the finals. So having him healthy and hopefully rested a little bit more.
Yeah, the Eastern Conference is the easy ticket in.
Because I don't know if people remember, but Isaiah was scoring 28 to 30 points averaging a game last year.
Yeah.
And that's incredibly impressive.
That's what's missing. Imagine getting those 28 points a game with for sure. Mm-hmm. I hope he comes back strong. I really do. I want to see a great final series. For your take on your favorite to win NBA MVP.
It's going to be close. I think there's only two candidates really at this point, two outliers being LeBron and Harden. They're both having incredible seasons, arguably both having the best seasons of their careers respectively, going up to this point at least. Harden's scoring like a machine. LeBron is playing the most efficient basketball of his career. Take your pick at that point. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to be very close, and it's going to depend on who plays better post All-Star break.
Pretty much give the MVP every year to LeBron if you really wanted to, because he's the best player in the league. Every year, he keeps upping his game more and more and more. Now we're starting to see a more efficient LeBron, as you said. Great shout. I think it's both of them as well. If this 2-week injury that Harden has is going to hurt his chances a little bit, it might be even longer than 2 weeks. Okay. They're gonna redo or they're gonna get a evaluation on it. Maybe that hurts Harden.
Yeah, it depends on
but maybe or maybe they don't. Those are the only really two. Westbrook can bring the Thunder back to being what we thought they were going to be, then maybe throw them in the mix. But right now, James Harden and LeBron James, those are my two as well.
Good question, Tyler. And I was looking at yesterday's between the Cavs and the Celtics. What do you attribute that loss to? Like a close game. It was, I think, won by like 15, 16 points. What do you think was the biggest?
If you can look up for me really quick, can you look up Boston's last game played before they played Cleveland Wednesday night for me? Cleveland was on a back-to-back. They were at home the night before. 4, I believe, and then they went straight to Boston. Back-to-back, coming off a West Coast trip as well. You guys can get a little bit tired. Obviously, that's not an excuse for any sort of loss or anything, but just one of the factors that could play into it. It's also a regular season game. Boston's at home, and they're a good team.
Who cares?
They're a good team.
He hit it regular season.
The Boston's a good team, and they can beat Cleveland on any given night at a home game, and it's a regular season like any other team can. Really, I mean, credit to Boston. They played well.
Answer your question, it was the 31st they played, so it was 4 days prior.
Boston had 4 days off to chill at home, relax, and get ready for Cleveland.
Get comfy, kick back.
Cleveland was on a West Coast trip, got back, and went there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if you
I said, well, no, I just wanted to say, had him in third place this season. So far, because there's no way we're catching up to fucking Houston heating up already in a strive. So I think third place is a fantastic spot. We just need to win 2 playoff games to keep, always playing the Western Conference Finals to show that we are a respected team still and we're not irrelevant anymore.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how Kawhi goes on. You guys are being a little cautious with him right now.
Yeah. He's been playing, and again, he didn't play last game against the Knicks. He sat out everybody. A lot of the players are not playing.
He sits like every other game.
Yeah, Pop has definitely.
He's being smart. I think he's really being smart. I think he's really just focused on getting to the playoffs with a healthy 100% Kyrie. That is.
Yeah, and also best coach in the NBA.
Tough one.
Okay.
No, it's not.
It's a tough one.
It's Greg Popovich.
I want to know. I don't know. I honestly think I'm biased. So it's kind of hard for me to say.
It's like asking who the best coach in the NFL is and not picking Belichick.
The cement for Brad Stevens is still very wet. That's all I'm going to say for now.
How many championships does Brad Stevens have?
Oh, no, of course. That's why I really can't debate this. That's why it's not really a discussion at this point. You're right.
I think the Spurs.
Yeah,
like, literally. When I think of the Spurs, I actually don't think of Tim Duncan right away. I think of when it's the Spurs, it's Greg Popovich, and then everyone else comes afterwards.
It's been, there's really no debate
Stevens
at this point.
Stevens has got potential because every year Boston's been getting better and better.
Yes,
so it's I see what you're saying. But I just, as long as Popovich is in the league,
what about?
I can't dare say.
What about Miami's coach? Yeah, he was your man.
Yeah, I don't think he's the best coach. He's got a good shot for the top 5. Absolutely,
in the league, yeah,
absolutely, top 5, absolutely, yeah. Definitely not the best though.
His players play well for him.
Yeah, no, they love to play for him. They
Hassan Whiteside.
Dude, I love Hassan Whiteside, man. I love Dion Waiters.
One last mention about the Warriors. Steph Curry is now back from his sprained ankle injury, and he is he came back. He had a game winner the other night from 3. And I believe he broke another record of his own for most threes in a game. I don't remember the exact statistic. No, it wasn't tonight. It was a few nights ago. He was practicing before his first game or like the day before or something, and he was talking to the media. Said during his routine 100 threes he shoots at the end of practices, he made 90. He made of 100. Isn't that ridiculous? He said he broke his own record. The ball extremely well right now, and if the Warriors can go into the finals and into the playoffs with the way they're playing right now, it's going to be a tough mountain to climb for the Cavs. That's for sure.
Find out which game it was. The other night
it was his first game back. It was after Christmas. They played the Cavs on Christmas, and I think it was right after that one.
It was one where they won.
No, it wasn't.
It was won by the one where he hit the game winner, I believe.
Well, that was his first game back, though.
All right, and on this one, let me check the box for you.
All right, while you're looking that up,
yeah.
Tyler, it wasn't that game. It was the game after. You can look it up. Go ahead.
You said LeBron.
You'll find it though.
So I wanted to come back. You said LeBron is the greatest player to ever play.
To ever touch a basketball is LeBron James. The cement is still wet, and he's still arguably the greatest player ever. It's crazy.
You pick LeBron over Jordan?
Over Jordan, and if I was starting a team,
The better, like, yeah. Do you think LeBron is better than Jordan?
Who's the better winner? Michael Jordan is the better winner. Overall player who brings more to a team, better LeBron.
I'm still taking Jordan.
Jordan is great.
I love LeBron.
Yeah, trust me, we have this conversation all the time.
I used to be the biggest LeBron critic and hater, and he won me over. I think he's unstoppable. If he would just drive every freaking time, he'd be unstoppable. But his Achilles heel is that jump shot. Although this year he's gotten a lot better.
Which he's shooting the ball very well this year so far.
Finally. I mean,
40% from
I know, but it took like what, 12 years?
Shot the ball okay last year.
I feel like Jordan just got the better all around game, man, and it's just that Jordan, whatever the hell that word is. Love Jordan. I love Jordan. I could see LeBron being the second best, maybe over Kobe.
Over Kobe. Way over Kobe. I like to play with LeBron, guys.
Well, yeah, that's why. That's how much he loved them. Look, I was looking at the stats and I saw that he made 10 threes against Memphis, the highest one I can find so far.
Yeah, that game he had 10. Then
10 threes.
He hit 9 before, something like that. It was like his record for like the season or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but he had an incredible game.
But he's shooting crazy numbers from the three.
Yeah. Super efficient.
4 threes against the Rockets tonight, shooting 40%. But overall, he shot 50%, which is not bad. Hey, Clay. I have most of my fantasy. I made 6, so great right-hand man for Curry.
Yeah, and back to the Warriors even, we haven't even talked about Durant and like Steph and how good they are, and it's like you have this 7-footer guy who can score from anywhere on the floor and who can play great defense now, and it's like so. Yeah, like I said, the Cavs are going to be playing very good basketball for them to even have a chance to match up. But I do think they can match up well if they can figure out their starting lineup once Isaiah's back in rotation. I think they can be dangerous.
Interesting, but it just has so much offensive power.
Changed. That's the thing.
I know. If anything, it's gotten
Nothing's
better.
Changed. Yeah.
Except that it's gotten better.
Yeah. Each other better. It's getting more efficient. Again, so are the Cavs, but I just think that Golden State having such a big advantage.
It's going to come down to the Cavs bench in that series. Yeah. Can the Cavs bench perform when LeBron's not in? Come down to me.
I actually think it's going to be flipped now. I think the Cavs bench will outperform the Warriors bench without question. I think it's a matter if the starting 5 with LeBron on the floor can keep up with the death lineup the Warriors have when they go small.
For sure. It'll be fun. I think it's definitely going to go 7 games. Absolutely. Year? I think it's going to go to 7. Right.
I'll say 6 max. Game 7.
7.
I'd love to see Houston come out and beat the Warriors.
Nothing would satisfy me more.
That'd be great.
And all you LeBron haters, I know you guys think Boston's got a chance to beat them.
I just think
they're not going to beat them 4 times.
If Houston can beat Golden State, it means that one of them would have had to get through us. I would love for Golden State to get knocked out because it gives us a bigger chance. Houston, although they've gotten so much better, I think if the Spurs are, we can do something similar to last year. And again, last year, I think that that Western Conference Finals would have gone like 4-2. I think it's that simple.
continue the end of that series without Zaza stepping on his foot on purpose.
You think it was on purpose?
Easily on purpose. Are you kidding me? Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
He's a veteran. He's been in the league for a decade now
I
or
don't know
so.
how he's still in the league.
And he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows where his feet are. These guys. That's what they do. These guys are athletes. He knows what he's doing.
I agree. So I don't know if you guys have any more. The NBA.
I think that's okay for now.
Yeah.
It's your turn for questions this week, by the way.
Batch. All right. I was gonna say, tell me a little, because this is something we've been debating also. Tell me about how you feel about Lonzo Ball. Do you think his stats are average for being a rookie, or do you think that forming for all the hype there was for him?
Start to the season. That's obvious. You can just look at the numbers. It's right there in front of you. He's actually had a better track record last 10, 15 games or so. He's starting to, I think, shoot the ball with a little bit more confidence, even with that messed up shot of his. He needs to fix that shot, by the way, because it's too slow. And when he's driving to separate sides, you can play defense on him and kind of read him a little bit better. So I think he's got to fix that shot, but he's got vision that you can't teach. So I think things are looking good for him. The time.
Yeah, I think the more game time, the better.
Yeah, that's what I got for now.
Question for you related to football. I'm a big Dolphins fan. We're in your division. And I don't know if you know too much about our team. He's our head coach. Good coach, in your opinion? Bad coach? It's for an office that just sucks.
Tannehill being hurt this season really threw things off, and then you guys having to sign Cutler was kind of like, a last minute like rental move, if you will. It was just a very tough spot to begin with. Not about your organization or anything like that, but in terms of your head coach, he's like he's kind of like a disciplined guy, kind of stuff. Like you guys traded a Jai, right? Like I heard there was conflicts.
There was.
But yeah.
You know what?
And you were like, all right, later. And you guys still played good football.
Looking back at it, I'm so happy.
Yeah, because you guys started winning.
We found the gem. Kenyon Drake is a beast.
And you guys started winning, I think, a little bit.
The last 5 games, he led running backs in yards. Kenyon Drake, fantastic.
Yeah. So
Adam Gase, man.
I don't know a whole lot about him, but I like the willing to make a move.
And he came out and said Tannehill's our quarterback for next year. The guy manager said if there's a good quarterback prospect at that number 1 pick, we're going to go ahead and draft one.
Would you pick Matt Moore?
Oh, yeah, Matt Moore over Jay Cutler.
I think that the Dolphins should have rode Matt Moore along and see what he could have done.
We've been there before.
I think no, you don't know where I'm going yet. This would have been worse with him, and that's good because you would have a better draft pick next year, and you wouldn't have wasted $10 million on Jay Cutler. Who couldn't have predicted your season this year? You guys would win, 6, 7, 8 games.
Yeah.
Just missed the wild card, kind of be in the hunt, but not really.
$10 million.
$10 million. The guy lived in a hotel room. Moved out of his hotel room. He had a hotel room and he never left.
There is
and then he beats the Patriots.
Role model.
And then beats the Patriots.
And then beats the fucking Patriots.
Outplays Brady.
This badass. Did you see the picture of his diet? Wings in a bed, just laying down in the hotel. Oh
I seriously think Jay Cutler can just turn it on whenever he wants. He just chooses not to.
Awesome, dude.
He doesn't give a crap.
He's a very interesting player, that's for sure, and he doesn't show it.
If he really concentrated, I think Jay Cutler could have been one of the best quarterbacks, but he really simply does not care.
He does not care. No.
He does not care.
It's like Johnny Football. He said, "Fuck it, I want to party."
And he partially admitted it earlier this year in the training camp. After he signed, he was like, "Yeah, I know I'm not in the best football shape yet, but my position doesn't require me to run a lot, so I think we'll be okay."
Yeah,
that's basically what he said.
That's crazy. It's crazy that he outs actually all quarterbacks. Roethlisberger, you don't think of him as a fit person. Quarterbacks have become, unless you see the running kind, maybe Panthers, or you see the Seahawks. They have that style, but pocket quarterbacks.
There's a lot of athletes and quarterbacks nowadays. I mean, for example,
Aaron
Alex Smith,
Rodgers,
athlete. Aaron Rodgers, athlete. Carson Wentz,
Wentz,
athlete. Matt Stafford, you can argue that he's an athlete too.
Tyrod,
athlete. There's a lot of guys in the league now. It's kind of changing a little bit, in my opinion, actually. With younger players,
I would love for it because
Mariota, Kaepernick.
Jameis, he can even get out of the pocket. I don't like Jameis though.
Yeah. Winston,
I think Jameis is stupid.
He was he let me down. I dropped him real quick.
I think he's overrated.
Man, expecting the Bucks to do a lot better.
A rough season. Yeah. I drafted him as a quarterback in fantasy, and wow,
I didn't pick up a quarterback early in the draft.
Oh, I didn't either.
I picked him up in round
I picked
5 or 6.
Good to that, dude.
5th or 6th round pick.
Gave you a broken collarbone for Christmas.
Yeah. Seriously.
It sucked.
I want to get your take before we advance to rapid fire segment. What should the Redskins do with Kirk Cousins?
Pay the man. You can't hedge the entire season on his play in terms of are we going to go to the Super Bowl? Are we not? Sure. At the end of the day, he does have to make the plays when the game is on the line, but there's a lot more that goes into that in terms of the Redskins being a well-rounded team, which they are not right now. Having some other help, just having who are there?
You have Terrell Pryor out there.
Josh Doxson. So they've got some okay guys.
Jamison Crowder. I love.
They've got some okay guys. Yeah, they've got some okay guys who can definitely play that position.
Reed can ball if you could just say.
Yeah. If I'm not wrong, their running game isn't very good. They don't really have a running game.
No.
It's not extremely hard to play defense against a team that has some pretty decent receivers with no running game. It's you can stop them.
Pay Kirk so much money this year after 20 years is going to impact the quality of players they can bring? Or do you think they'll be okay with the...
You can argue that, but at the end of the day, I mean, look at the Patriots model in terms of them being able to draft guys and then mold them. And, I mean, you just got to be better at those things at the end of the day.
That's the thing. The Redskins are not good at scouting. No, I don't think I know they had that one offensive lineman that they drafted who's looking pretty good. More often than not, aren't doing that well in the draft.
I agree.
I think the Redskins screwed up. Should have paid Kirk Cousins 2 years ago. At that point, the market wasn't what it was today for $100 million. For however long they sign him. It's just gonna hurt the Redskins cap.
How much? 30
They're paying him a lot right now. It's not 30, it's like 23.
23?
It's around there. It's around 23.
Yeah, I mean, I just think now it resign him.
It's still absurd.
I think they should definitely resign him. I think he's a great quarterback. It's gonna hurt them. It's in a way it's gonna hurt them because they're not gonna be able to bring where they need. And I don't know if you guys saw the press conference with when they had asked him if Kirk was going to be back. That was not the response I was expecting from him.
I didn't see it.
Because he kind of threw Kirk under the bus a little bit, I would say. It was something along the lines of we're a 7-19 with Kirk or something like that. Something along those lines, man. Yeah, I heard it. I was like, wait, what? He was like, he does some good things, and we have injuries, but at the end of the day, we're like 7-9 or whatever. But it didn't sound like.
Do you think he's doing that to scare off other teams so that when he has to sign Kirk next year, he doesn't have that much competition because he doesn't feel that confident in him? Or do you think it doesn't really matter?
I honestly don't think Kirk Cousins will be in a Redskins uniform next year. I think he's gone.
What would you see him?
I would love to see him in Miami. I'm just saying, I would love to see Kirk Cousins in Miami. Why can't it happen?
I just don't see him. I mean, I don't know. I just think you guys are not looking for a starter.
I could see him go to Cleveland too, though. Cleveland can pay him big bucks. Cleveland needs a quarterback desperately.
Mm.
I mean, there are a lot of teams out there that need a quarterback.
A lot of things.
Yeah, but they need to stop. They need to stop passing up on quarterbacks. They passed up on Carson. They passed up on Golf.
I know.
How many more quarterbacks?
No. It's not even that they've passed up. They've tried. They've tried to draft quarterbacks. They drafted Deshaun Kaiser last year, and look how that worked out for him.
Well, he wasn't a first round pick.
He was a first round pick. He was either picked 14th or 15th.
Scouting, man.
He was their first round draft pick. He was one of their first round draft picks. Deshaun Kaiser, garbage. Yeah. I mean, it's a system too. It's like you go to die. Your career dies in Cleveland sometimes, especially as a quarterback.
But what if Kirk went to the Cardinals? Carson Palmer just retired. That's a good landing spot.
See, I think that's a place I would see him.
I'd love to see Kirk Cousins on the Cardinals.
Landing spots. If you really Jacksonville, why not Jacksonville? Get Blake Bortles out. You put Jay Cutler in Jacksonville with that defense.
Jay Cutler. Or the
Jay,
I don't give a fuck.
I think with Jay Cutler, they might be a game or two better than
Jay Cutler. No, Jay Cutler to the Jaguars.
No, Jay Cutler is done after this year.
Yeah, he's done.
He's going to the couch.
I know, but I think were you talking about Cousins going to Jacksonville?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know. You said Cousins.
I know. I said Kirk
You know who's going to be in the booth this year?
You said you didn't say Cousins, did he?
He was going to be in the booth this year.
Whatever.
And being the sound is one of the color commentators.
Yeah, then he
got
saw
the job.
$10 million floating.
Yeah, and then he's like,
I
can make this amount of money, 5 months,
and I can always come back.
Which is money that I'm going to make this year.
Yeah, I know.
No brainer.
Both contracts. Looked at him. He said, "You got to plan."
He didn't even have to come to training camp. He skipped all of training camp pretty much.
Yeah. Went to LA Fitness.
Yo, he really motivates me. Nothing
You can make
that much. Like you can make it doing nothing. That's his motto. That's Jay Cutler's motto.
There's some sort of switch or some sort of injury he suffered or something to his head or something, because he you don't just get that good and then something happened.
I don't know.
Maybe it was just the team around him. Was it really him the whole time?
Only him, because this was Jay Cutler back in Chicago. We've seen this Jay Cutler even in the last years when he was.
No, I'm saying, do you think when he was good, it was just everyone around him making him look good?
No, Jay Cutler plays some good football, man. NFC Championship game.
All right, then fuck it. Then he clearly has a problem. You don't forget how to play football.
I'm telling you, he doesn't care. He just doesn't care. I'm trying to tell you guys.
I mean, you do watch the game, so.
Fuck it, I'll throw the ball.
The only time, look,
fuck it, what's the worst that could happen?
The only time I saw Jay Cutler actually giving a shit this year was the game against the Patriots. Yeah. And what happened? We won. And then for the rest of the 15 games, he said, fuck it, I'm done. I don't care. Where I ball out for that's where I earned my $10 million.
Yeah, you guys got shit on offensively against us. You guys couldn't do shit.
Nothing
last week. Touchdown.
No,
I'm not shocked.
I mean, you might have scored one at the end, and that was a garbage touchdown.
Maybe.
Yeah, it
is garbage. Exactly. It was done. It was done. Our season's done. It's been depressing, so I really don't want to get into it. So, well, that pretty much wraps it up. Rapid fire.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's do these rapid fire questions fairly quickly. Onto the fan questions.
We'll wrap it up.
You answered actually 2 of my rapid fire questions today.
Oh. Okay.
Since Tyler was here, I was gonna ask you about the LeBron Jordan argument, but you had clearly put Jordan above.
Definitely put Jordan.
Besides Kirk, be starting for the Dolphins next year.
Ugh.
Okay. Team next year than this year, with having Tannehill and Cousins not coming, or any other better quarterback, because it seems like that's already decided.
I mean, with Tannehill, we're probably 2 or 3 games better, but that's honestly it. Because I don't know how he's going to come back from the knee injury.
Tyler, do you see Buffalo winning 1 game in the playoffs?
I mean, like I said, a good chance of beating Jacksonville. And then they're going to be at New England if they do that. So
I think the Bills win.
they got one game.
Fantastic. All right, question number 2. Do you think Houston will get first place in the West? Hoping that they all stay healthy.
No, because they're
No?
already not.
Okay.
James Harden's
Well.
already missing 2 weeks. Even if James Harden wasn't hurt, I don't think they would have. State at the end would have.
Same thing for you, Tyler.
Without the injury, you will likely see Golden State begin to sit guys after the All-Star break, so they can come in locked and loaded for the playoffs, unlike they have done in the previous years. Especially just, I think, more of a general emphasis on that. So it'll be interesting to see how Golden State takes it down the road and the way with sitting stars.
Yeah, I think Houston needs to get first to have a chance.
Yeah.
And my final question is a general question for both of you. Bruno, you're a Dolphins fan.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Tyler, you're a Bills fan. You guys are in the same division. How do you feel? How do you guys feel about each other's teams? Do you think the Dolphins are better than the Bills?
No.
Do you think Bills have always been the better team? It's just that you had, 4 that you kind of stumbled on, and you can even go historically, not right now. Tell me, give me a little discussion here, because it's not every day that we have someone who's in the same division as you.
Get to this. Who's the team you hate most in our division? I hate the Jets. I can't stand the Jets.
New England, because they always beats us. New England.
But I just can't stand the Jets.
I don't really.
I can't.
They're
stand
trash.
The Jets. I really can't. All right. But going back to your question, who do I think has the better football team now? It's Buffalo.
Okay.
Be the Dolphins. We won Super Bowls. Away from Buffalo, they've had some great players. It's the running back, the quarterback Jim Kelly. Had a stellar wide receiver too. I forget his name though. Andre Reed. There you go, Andre Reed. Had great players, man. They went to 4 straight Super Bowls?
Lost them all.
Yes, but no one else can really say we've been to 4 straight. Like, that's hard to do.
It'll likely never happen again with the stiffness of the competition in terms of the league, how competitive it is.
Exactly. But that's just insane. Imagine,
it's very, very, very tough feat to accomplish.
Yes, they lost all 4, but you still got to respect the fact that they made it to 4 in a row. When some teams haven't even made it to 1. Some teams haven't even made it 1.
Do the Bills have a better team, generally speaking, top to bottom? Yes. Do they both have semi-question marks at quarterback? Yes.
Yeah.
I like some of the Dolphin skill players, though. Love me some Jarvis Landry on my team, man. I'd love me some Jarvis Landry.
If you guys give us some
Jarvis Landry and then be for a little bit, we'll win 12 games next year.
Sign Jarvis Landry, I might quit next season.
You have to.
I mean to ask you this because I know that he has been underperforming for a long time now. Because he has been every time you're watching.
To be fair, he picked it up a little bit. But I think it was more of our defensive coordinator, man. He sucks.
No, it was the who was on coke.
They both suck. No. The offensive line coach was on coke.
Okay.
By the way, we hired a new offensive coordinator from Chicago. Report, I was like, did you guys check his background for coke? Make sure he's never done coke in the past. Make sure he's clean. We don't need another coke incident. Yeah, I think our defensive coordinator plays a huge part because
it's a summary of the Dolphins season.
Yeah, seriously. We do coke and pay Jay Cutler $10 million. It is what it is. No, I think Suh isn't worth the money we paid him, but he's still top 3 in the league. I just wish he would be a little bit more show a little bit more emotion on the field, man. Be more of a leader, I would say. Yeah.
All right, you want to go to move over to our fan questions and
Start wrapping up the show
Yeah.
here. All right. So Sporting updates. UK asks who's to blame for Sporting's poor performance.
For me, it had to be the coach. It just flat out came right from the get-go. It looked like we were playing counter. Like I said, I don't think we play our best soccer counterattack. I think Sparting are a attacking-minded team, and JJ's trying to invent shit and trying to make us a team that we're not. So I put it all on JJ.
Steph to share asking which positions does Sporting need players?
Midfield, we have a winger coming in, which is great. I think we need another striker, and maybe another center back. To me, would probably be the best, maybe even a left back, but I don't think we're going to be that much aggressive, or even bring out one of the loan players that we've loaned out and Francisco Geraldo and play Palinha a little bit more.
Mario, for you, we'll both get our takes on this questions. Should Stevie asked, should Manchester City buy another striker now that Jesus is injured?
They have the Coon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was your answer.
Just let the
Yeah,
Coon,
they have the
just let the
Coon
do
and
the Coon things,
And
man.
and then
It's fine.
honestly, they have Pep
He can take
Guardiola. He'll invent something. It's Pep.
It's Pep. I mean,
It's all about the tiki taka.
they'll be all right. They'll be all right. Ask, do you think the Eagles still have a shot at the Super Bowl for performance versus Dallas? I'll let you handle this one.
Like this. It's so sad. It's so
He
sad.
finally
'cause
caved in.
I was hopeful, man. I thought.
Funny thing about hope.
Yeah.
There's hope
man.
and there's facts.
Yeah, man. I thought we had it, but no, unfortunately, we don't.
I do feel for you.
Yeah, man. We were
What
hot.
a season
We
you
were
You guys were-
hot.
You
You
guys
guys
would
were
have definitely
red hot.
been my Super Bowl pick with
Yeah,
a
you
healthy
guys were
Carson
red
easily.
hot.
Yeah. I think I don't know how else to put it. We just don't. We're fire. I think the team was cranking in all cylinders, and Foles was trying to pick it up. He did his job. To be honest, I can't blame him. He picked up the wins we needed to get the home field advantage, which was good enough. It was nothing else that we could have expected. I think the defense picked up a lot of the slack.
To continue that way.
Exactly, and I hope it does. Now we have actual rivals, so we're not playing against these shitty teams anymore. These are the playoffs.
I don't think you guys have enough. I like New Orleans coming out of the NFC, so
It is what it is.
Sadly. Yeah. Last two questions come from two Leicester fans. First one is Rhode Island Foxes. They ask, who do you think Leicester should sign this transfer window? I hear Ben Arfa's coming, which is great. That's another winger option, so Mahrez doesn't have to do the workload himself. I think Damari Gray is great, but I think Damari's like up and down, and he's still a young player, so I think he's better suited to come off the bench and give like a solid, 30 minutes in the second half. Plus, the FA Cup's going to start coming into play, so we're going to need to have a little bit more of a rotation. I would probably bring in another defender. I like Wes Morgan, I really do, but he's getting a little bit older. Some fresh legs in that position would be great. And definitely a right back. I think we need a right back, like bad. I really hope it's not Benfica's Andrea Almeida, because they've been speculating like a 20 million transfer fee, and I'm like, been worth 5. I mean, I'll take a rock. Almeida. So yeah. Our next question comes from.
I think if they need a winger, they need to pick up defense. Sorry, they need to pick up Tagliafico from Independiente.
Actually, we could take a left back. No, we could. I don't like Fuchs that much. I like Ben Chilwell, but he's still young.
I'm telling you, he is.
No, you know where I want Tagliafico to go? I want him to go to Sparting. He would be great at Sparting. I could see that happening before him going to Leicester. But hey, that's a good shout. He's great. I don't know why he's not on the national team.
It's all about fucking money.
Yeah, no, it's how the Portuguese national squad is at times too, and I understand. Question comes from Nas. Question: Who should Leicester City sell?
Slimani might get sold, which really kind of breaks my heart.
From Sparting. And
I can make a lot of money out of that transfer.
Don't think we should sell him. I think we should actually loan out Ian Nacho just simply because he hasn't been as great as we thought he was going to be. And I feel like more playing time under his belt would be better than for his role at the club now. Plus, Slimani would get more playing time. And I think Slimani's better. I think Fuchs, I think we can get rid of Fuchs, to be honest with you. I think we can do much better at left back. Telefico would be great. Another player, I don't see any use for him at all whatsoever. So those are probably like the 3 players off the top of my head that I would sell for Leicester City. Pretty much wraps it up from us. Tyler, thank you so much for joining us on the first 2018.
Hot.
Yeah, man.
We came in guns blazing right here.
Hour plus.
Yeah.
I had a great time, man.
It's been good, man.
I'll try to keep updating the Twitter page. Thanks for everyone retweeting, favoriting. We've definitely gotten a lot more activity in the past week. Simply because I've been actually updating it. So it's great. It's great. I'll try my best to keep going now that I'm out of school and stuff. I got a little bit more free time and thing at work anyway, so I might as well just tweet, right?
It's that slow. Trust me, it's that slow at work too. And it's
Oh yeah.
But all right, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you, Tyler, for stopping by. Hope to have you back here again if you would like to. And hey, follow us, tweet us, message us, whatever the hell mode of contact you want to shoot us at. Sounds good. We'll be waiting. Thank you guys.
I'll be waiting for you.
Take care.